Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of Legacy. My name is Leonardo Caparelli. I'm the Academy Director here at the Football Domain Academy. So, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about why your child needs to be confident rather than cocky. And what I am going to do is I am going to distinguish the difference between the two and why one will help your child succeed more and the other might hurt their performance in the long term. So, confidence. Now, I've worked with many players in the past, and something I can notice is I know the difference between a player who is confident and a player who is cocky. Player who is confident is someone that gives 100% to the team, gives 100% to the coach, and he's very reliable. Someone who is cocky, on the other hand, is a child who maybe thinks they know it all. They usually do what they want, which means they might arrive 5 minutes before a training session. They don't put in the work because they think they're better than the team. And also another thing is they think as an individual rather than a team player. So I'm going to go into a bit more detail on the points that I have in front. And I'm going to explain to you why it's more important for your child to be confident rather than cocky. So the number one point and the first point is believes they will win. So a child or a youth soccer athlete that goes onto the field and believes they will win, when I talk about this, I don't mean only in terms of winning the game. I mean overall winning, such as having a great game, being a great team player, fully committed, and just focus more on the long-term results rather than on the individuality of themselves. So that's what I mean by believes they will win. When they go onto the field, they believe he or she will do really well and become a success. Second one is growth mindset. So when a child has a growth mindset, means that even though they make mistakes, but they have developed a mindset where they will overcome any setback. And that setback doesn't last very long. They ultimately say to themselves, do you know what? I can do this, I can get better, and I can give it another go. That's what I mean by a growth mindset. Now, a player that is also confident will have a fantastic body language, and it will be a very strong body language. I know coaching in the past, I've worked with many teams and I've also played with many teams, against many teams, who when their team shows up, you know that this team means business. They're focused, they have a great upright posture, they're all together talking about the game, and it's a fantastic image, and it does create a sort of intimidating atmosphere if you are a team that's going to play against them, because they spark this sense of professionalism, which already in your mind, you think to yourself, do you know what? This team's going to be good. And that's what I mean by a good, strong body language. So next one, cocky. Now, what is the difference between confident and cocky? So a player who is cocky, beg your pardon, is someone that might know it all or thinks they know it all. And I've worked with these types of players as well. And these players are very good, but only in the short term. In the long term, they're players that begin to struggle, and they're players that develop low self-esteem in the long term, because in the moment they think they know it all, they think they're the best player, and then what happens is another player comes along, is more willing to be committed to the team, is more willing to learn, and will ultimately overpass that player overall. Okay, so that's what I mean by knows it all. So does what they want. This is a player that's very cocky, and it's a player that doesn't follow structure, doesn't follow instructions, and because they know it all, they decide to create their own world within a team environment. Now, the only way that's going to end up is that individual player, that individual child, will end up becoming a problem for the rest of their teammates. And that is because they're so individually minded and they do what they want. So if training is at 5:30, these types of players are arriving 5 or 10 minutes later because they think in their mind that the coach is just going to let them off because they are a good player. So a player that does what they want is typically that type of player. And it's a player that just needs a change of mindset in order to progress and get better. Now, the third point is thinks as an individual and not a team player. So when you work with these types of individuals that are more individualistic, this can become a problem, especially when they are in a team environment. And I have worked with many players in the past that think as individuals rather than as a team. Now, sometimes that can be a benefit, especially if the player is very good and can create a difference on that team. However, as I touched on the previous point where it does what they want, that can become a problem if that player then decides that, no, I'm going to carry this team, I'm going to do what I want, and ultimately I'm going to become more selfish rather than play as a team. So when a player thinks as an individual, they think for themselves and they want the freedom, they want the stardom. And ultimately what happens is that can lead to other players around them becoming frustrated and creating problems in the long term. Okay. So thank you for watching. If this video has helped you to understand a bit more the difference between a confident player versus a cocky player, then please like and subscribe to our channel. Every single week, we create content that is designed to help you, the parent, understand a bit about how your child can become not only a better soccer player, but how they can develop their confidence, their discipline, their mindset to become not only a better athlete, but also a better student and individual. Okay. If you have any questions for me, my email address, I'm going to write down here in the box. It is info@thefootballdomainacademy.com. And when you do write me, please in the subject column, please put the word confident so I know that that email is related to this video. Okay. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next episode.